stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. And hi, y'all. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you can podcast the show. I realize we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama if you're black, and then everybody and their mama if you're white. And we are heard up and around the world if you're around the world, earther or whatever, and up and down the world if you're a flat earther. So it's for everybody. So if you're like busy running around doing whatever it is that you're doing, you can still listen to the show. Whether you're over in Angola, and you're sleeping at the party, or you are in New York City trying to kill a CEO for whatever reason unknown at this point, or you're riding the subway train and you're allegedly threatening everybody on the plane that somebody takes you down and you die, and the person that's being taken down, as well as the person that's taking the other one down, you could be listening to the show. Or if you're in Congress and Pete Hegseth, whatever his name is, want to be confirmed, and you're judging Pete like you're better, based on what rumors, whether true or not, it doesn't matter, ain't your business, and you're judging him like you're better, trying to keep him from being confirmed because you hate Donald Trump, you could be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad while you're judging. Isn't that amazing? By calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. No excuses, right? Amazing. So it's Thursday again already. This time is going by like 90, going north. And not only is it men's forum tonight, the men's forum tonight, the last one for the year. Think about that. I remember last year, the beginning of the year when we started out. And the year is up, almost. So not only is this the men forum tonight, every Thursday we have Bible Thumper Thursday because we love the Bible Thumpers. And we want to have a little bit more time with the Bible Thumper because they need love too. You know what I mean? So what we've done is set aside, we take all calls, of course, but we've set aside time for the Bible Thumpers so that when they, it's real difficult for a Bible Thumper in that he or she are so intellectual that they forgot how to even have a conversation. And so what happened is when you're talking to a Bible Thumper, they'll ask you a question or make a statement about the Bible. And while you're making an attempt to respond, all they're doing is laying up in their head thinking about the next scripture. All they would do is just go to another scripture, and they won't respond to your response to their question statement. So we're like, we got to make time for the Bible Thumpers. We love the Bible Thumpers. So today is Thursday. And every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
I see here, it seems like these kids are just regurgitating Bible verses. I want to know if you really understand what it is that you are preaching. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words and sinful generation.
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
I am the daughter of 2 pastors.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
President Joe Biden is only the 2nd Catholic president.
The Pope is like, if you don't... They call him the Holy Father. Ain't nothing holy about the Pope.
God, why? Why George, God?
Holy mackerel.
You preach for us and then tell us what it is you mean.
I can't believe you people follow a man. What the Bible Thumper Thursday? I was reflecting and paying attention to what's happening in the confirmations. There are several people who have had to go over to the White House and try to solicit Congress to support them in their confirmation hearing. And it's so interesting to see what's happening over there. And in the way that they're treating these people that Trump sent over and is making an attempt to get them confirmed. And I'm thinking it's unfortunate. Well, I guess it is unfortunate for conversation piece sake that you're sending. You have to go over there in the in Congress and Senate and places like that. That you have to go to devils to get confirmed for a position in government. You're going to evil people who are going to judge you because they are evil. And then most of the time they will go against you because they're evil and they are evil against Trump. Isn't that amazing? You're sending somebody over to ask the devil to confirm you. I'm like, what a mess. Have you noticed that earth is hell? And that you're living in hell not only in yourself, within you, and then you're dealing with it outside of yourself, inside of others. Look around you. There's nothing but hell on earth. Unhappy people, angry people, judgmental people. A judgmental person cannot see that he or she is a judgmental person. They don't see that as them. They truly think that it's someone else. It's like the devil doesn't know that he's the devil. And that's true. The devil does not know that he's the devil. And you can prove it to yourself without even believing me. Do you know that you are a judgmental person? that you are an evil, unhappy man or woman, male or female? Do you know that it's you, or you think someone else is making you feel that way? Have you noticed that your own hell is inside of you? And the devil makes you think somebody else is making you feel that way? Have you ever thought about that? All of your hell is inside of you. And the people that you get mad at, you blame them for the way you feel. Satan doesn't know he's Satan. The devil doesn't know he's the devil. And you can watch yourself and others, and you will see that when you're angry, you don't know that it's you. You think that it's somebody else. That they are making you feel that way. They're making you act that way. They're making you say the things you're saying. And you show nothing but hatred. Because the devil doesn't know he's the devil. Angry people do not know that they're the devil. They don't know it. And it's amazing to watch it in a big way when I'm watching clips from the government today and the media and the so-called experts. They're so lost. And then I counsel with a lot of people. We deal with men and women in these forums, and it's all devil. But they don't know it. The only one that know it is when they wake up and they start working on themselves. They get a little light, and they start to see that, wow, it really is them and not anyone else. It's no one else. No one is making you feel something that you're not. Think about that. Smoke on that. But you're so quick to yell and scream and yell at your children, yell at your wife or your husband, yell at your parent, your enemy, your workers, co-workers and workers. You're so quick to believe that all of that fear and anger that is in you, that someone else is making you feel that way. I once was blind. Angry people are blind people. Angry people are evil people. You know, last week we had the biblical question as to what's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? Zero difference. No difference. It's just that one group called themselves a Christian because that's the Christian club. And then another group called themselves an atheist. Because that's the atheist club. They call the atheist club. And everybody got a club. Everybody, and they mama got a club. My biblical questions for this week. Did you discover the traitor in you? Did you discover the traitor in you? It's such an amazing question. One thing that you can do for yourself, it's up to you. If you want to be free, you got to know you. If you don't know you, you're never going to understand the world around you. And you're going to always blame someone else for you and your problem, your emotions, your fears, and your doubts, and your jealousy, and your envy, and your strife. You're going to always blame somebody else. You make me feel that way. You're the problem. No, you are your own problem. You and the devil are one. You have agreed with the devil. That's why you must be born again. You need a brand new nature. And believe me, eventually life will be taken away from you on earth, the life in your body. And you don't want to drop your body in this condition, because the way you drop your body, the condition that you're in when you drop your body is the condition that you're going to stay in it's never going to change. You will never get out of your hell. You're stuck. So I would suggest do what you want. That you drop this ego spirit, ego mindset before it's too late. And once you drop that, once you die from the ego, there's no more death. No such thing as death. Death would just be a word. Life and death would just be words. Because you've died. You only have once to die. And that's the fake death. That's the fake dying of the fake body. And mine, it's not even real. And so I was thinking about the Great White Hope, observing because of he's building this team right now to make America great again. And I was thinking of Donald Trump as to how Donald Trump's enemies surrounds him. They're all around him. Donald Trump enemies surrounds him, and yet he remains untouched. Have you noticed? Have you had that little space between you and the Great White Hope so you can recognize him and you can see that of all the things and all the enemies that he has, that he remained untouched. Donald Trump enemies surrounds him, but yet they surround all around him, and yet he remains untouched. Have you heard that somewhere before? And I'm wondering, can you live the same way? Your enemies can be all around you, surround you, and yet you remain untouched. No, you can't. You're down and out with the first enemy. You lose the first battle, so ain't no way you're going to win the second one. And think about what the Great White Hope has gone through just in this election term when they were running. All type of court cases, fake or real, but they were court cases. Every time you looked around, they had Donald Trump in court. He just went through that unfazed, untouched. He kept his mind on the prize, winning the race. Are you able to keep your mind on the prize, winning the race? No, you're not. You give up at the first little, oh, this is too hard. This ain't too long. This is too painful. When will this all end? You're whining even before the race starts. Donald Trump went through all kinds of court cases, right? One after another. And the people who were accusing him were celebrating that Donald Trump going to jail. Oh, one lady, female, black, ran her own campaign against Donald Trump. Some stupid so-called DA out of New York. And yet, Donald Trump remained and is remaining untouched. Can you live like that? Can you go through life remaining untouched, though your enemies are all around you, have all surrounded you? So Donald Trump, gone through those trials things, untouched. He kept his eyes on the prize. Donald Trump had one full assassination attempt, and then another one, but it was stopped before he could get too far. And yet, he remained untouched. Donald Trump was called Hitler. Every kind of, some stupid women accused him. Every kind of name, every kind of thing. Yet, he remains untouched. Can you go that way? Can you live that way? Think about your little life. You got a little life going on around you. You ain't got no government stuff going on, right? And you start working on yourself, and a one or two people can come around and say something negative about you, it's over. You're ready to give up and hide, or you're ready to give up and cry, or you're ready to give up in fear, or ego, or what about my reputation, my job, my this and my that. Your enemies surround you, one or two, not even many, and it's over for you. Donald Trump has been accused every awful name that you can call a person around the world, not just in America, by his enemies around the world, governmental enemies, media, and some non-governmental and media people. Yet, he remains untouched. I want you to know, and look at him now. He's still just Donald Trump doing Donald Trump. His eyes is on the prize. It appears that Donald Trump is ready to endure to the end, in spite of who turned against him, in spite of what they say about him, true or false, in spite of the name calling, in spite of threatening to take his money, threats against his family. Look at him, he's still Donald Trump. Eating at McDonald's. I want you to know, if you wanted it, you can have the same life. The same state that Donald Trump is in, you could have it too if you want it. The same state that Christ was in and is in, you can have it too. But you got to put your eyes on you. You can read the Bible till the cows come home, black and blue in the face. You can quote scriptures until your intellect is run out of intellect room. You can believe Jesus is God and get everybody agree with you that Jesus is God. Or you can believe that you have a free will until the cows come home. Your enemy will come along and blow you out of the water. Because believing all those things, you still have fear. You still have jealousy. You still have strife, revenge. You still judge. Not only do you judge others, you're still judging yourself, all in the name, all in the word. Oh, but you have all these beliefs. And those beliefs has not, is not, will not do you any good. Your enemy will surround you, and it'll be over for you. Just like that. I would recommend you pay attention to Donald Trump. Have a little space. Don't make him your God. Don't make him your hero. Because in Donald Trump's eyes, he's just Donald Trump dealing with life, the issues of life. And so can you if you want it. But you got to stop blaming. Anyway, you got to forgive your mama and your daddy. It's been reported Donald Trump was close to his father. If you don't love your earthly father, you're not going to even love God. No matter how many words you read, how many scriptures you read. You can read the Revelation. There are people really reading Revelation and they wait for that to happen. It has already happened. And yet, they're touched, they're angry, they're judgmental. Their enemies surround them and they're wiped out. Why don't you question that? There are literally Christians and atheists too, Allah Uaba people, and some Jewish people, and maybe a whole lot of Jewish people, and Mormons and Mongolas and Nigeraras. They do not believe. Just think about this. Just think about this one. Smoke on it. They do not believe that you can have perfect peace on earth. Christ said you can. They read that I came that you may have peace and perfect peace. But they don't believe it. They, oh no, I'm just human. I'm not perfect. I'm never going. I gotta wait till I get to heaven. You ain't going to heaven. You're gonna be right where you are now in hell. Christ came that you may have perfect peace. Look at Donald Trump. Can you see that he has perfect peace? Donald Trump is surrounded by Donald Trump's enemies surrounds him, but yet he remains untouched. All around him. So I guess I can say Biden remained untouched too. He seemed pretty at peace over there in Angola. He's sleeping on the job, allegedly. Fox is reporting U.S. President Joe Biden was in an economic meeting during his trip to Angola on Wednesday and appears to fall asleep as officials were speaking. Watch this from Fox. Does he seem like he's at peace too, even though his enemy surrounds him? Watch this.
And I do want to pop up this live image right here as we have been over in Angola. We've seen the trip from President Biden. He is there meeting with some of the officials in that location. He spoke maybe about 30 minutes ago and broke down a little bit more about the investments that were being made in that area. And right now he is taking part in a meeting here with, again, some of the other officials in that location. Not sure. It looks like there might be audio, so let's pop it up to see if we can hear anything.
Aiming at aligning this project with national priorities.
There are two other men sitting at the table with this man.
In closing, allow me to reiterate Tanzania's commitment to regional integration and shared prosperity. We note the progress made on the development of the Lobito Corridor and commend the visionary leadership that has brought this initiative to life. And it is through such partnerships and innovations that Africa's Agenda
I know how you feel,
2063
Joe.
will be realized. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'd like to turn it over.
All right, so the audio not too great there, but you can see President Biden is meeting with those officials over in Angola, again, talking about economic investments and things of that nature.
In the Fox soundbite that I saw, they showed Joe Biden at this table with two other officials, and they're reading off, talking or whatever. And you see all three of them sitting there. The two African men are busy with their whatever it is they're discussing, and Joe Biden knocked out, or appears to be knocked out. And they're like, when the guy finished, or take a break in his conversation, Joe Biden kind of wake up like, oh, Lord, where am I? What the? I'm like, I know how you feel, Joe. Untouched. They, for some reason, they didn't show the two guys in that soundbite, but there were two other guys at the table, either holding a press conference, look like, or they're speaking to an audience. Are you able to be untouched when your enemies, or while your enemies are surrounding you? Human beings are evil, and they have no love. 888-7753-773. A quick break. Back in a moment.
I just wanted to say that I've been listening to you for a few years now, and when you talk about the illusion of racism and how it's just a divisive tool that the media uses, and it's just good and evil.
Yes.
And that's what we got to focus on. It really has changed my life. My perspective is totally different now. I'm more calm, I'm more peaceful. You know, when you talk about forgiving your mother and letting go of that hate, and it just transforms you. So I just want to thank you for that and let you know that, you know, you really are doing God's work by waking people up with this message.
Amazing, Aaron. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Sure. I can hear the angels in heaven singing right now. They're rejoicing. That's amazing. Stay with the silent prayer. Speak up, don't resent, and doubt every thought. And Aaron, you have not seen anything. Anything. Okay, Bible Thumper Thursday, 888-7753-773, 888-77 Jesse. Quick announcement. Brand new episode tomorrow of the Fallen State.tv. Very, Mamma Mia, interesting discussion with Bryce Mitchell. And Bryce is a top-ranked UFC fighter and based out of Arkansas. No, Arkansas, not Arkansas. Arkansas. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
And how did you overcome the fear of being hurt? You know, knocked out, teeth knocked out.
God commands us, do not be afraid.
Were you always a Christian?
No, sir. I called on Christ because I had a demonic experience.
Will you forgive your mother?
Yes.
Did you know you needed to forgive her?
Yes. How did you know that?
Isn't that amazing? And so you told me I can put my money on you this December?
You can bet the farm on me, brother. Well, save a couple cows.
So his fight is Saturday. And so I'm trying to decide if I want to put the farm on him or not, or maybe just hold on to a few cows. So this Friday at 12 noon, thefallenstate.tv. Thefallenstate.tv. Check it out. You can support us right there on the Fallen State too. Thefallenstate.tv/donate, or go to Locals there, clicking the link, description, locals.com. And tonight is the last men forum of the year of 2024. Isn't that amazing? At 7 p.m. Amazing stuff. And if you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven by phone, Skype, or walk-in. Go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Let me go quickly to the busy phone here. Michael, first time out of Tennessee. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse? I got a quick question.
Okay.
So if someone start a conflict with you, you can tell that they're trying to make themselves your enemy, and you end up falling into that and like going along and judging that person when you realize that's what you're doing, do you have to go to them and like forgive like what you do your parents, or can you just realize it and let that be that and keep moving on?
You can just see that you're judging them, and seeing it, it would change by itself. You don't need to go to them.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking the same. Thing. But you know, the thoughts kind of had me like, because when I thought of that, I'm thinking like, I don't need to do all that. But you know, the thoughts like, oh, that's just your pride. But I know that's just thoughts.
Right.
But I want to make sure with you.
Yeah, no, you don't need to do it. You want to see, and once you see what's going on inside of you, seeing it, which is the light of God, will destroy the imagination, the thoughts, because the thoughts are just lying to you. They are evil.
Yeah.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah, I have.
You went to her?
Yeah.
How did it go?
When I did it, she didn't say anything. She was just looking at me, but it went good though. It was for me.
Yeah.
And I'm able to speak up to her. Now, we really don't talk much now, but I'm able to, just be me with her and my dad.
Right on. And so prior to forgiving her, were you able to be yourself around her, with her beforehand, or no?
I thought I was myself, but I guess I was always like hurt, like a child state with her. Like,
yes.
I was never like but now I talk to her like a grown, like I talk to anybody else really. I really don't have that fear with her or my dad anymore. I used to have it with both of them, but now I can easily just tell them what's up. Me and my dad still. Go ahead.
You and your father what?
Me and my dad still. We still good though. We talk kind of regularly.
Right on.
And it ain't nothing like no problems with me and my mom. It's just like we just don't talk as much now that happened.
Yeah, you don't need mama in the way you thought you needed her when you're in the fallen state.
Yeah.
You make a point in that now that you've forgiven your parents and you have no fear or anger with them, you're not going to fear anyone else in the world. And no matter what they say about you, how they turn on you, whatever happened, you're not going to have any fear at all. You'll be free.
And with this, I feel that. And with this, this person, like I don't know. I can tell I kind of really got into my thoughts about it because I was just like, man, this, like, they would be trying to be. I can just tell they was just like, I don't know, it was just weird to me, and I was just like, yeah, this dude, bitch, like, he just weird, like, he just acting weird. And the B word ain't a cuss word, right?
Not in my eyesight. I've never known that the word bitch was considered a cuss word. Growing up in the good old days, it only meant a female dog. And so, and when a woman was acting out, it was understood by women and men that woman was acting like a mad female dog.
Yeah, and I could just see that I was wrong. Like in my mind, every time I go to work, I would just be like, man, this. But I could just see like, man, I shouldn't be doing that, because it was making me feel like. I just feel like I was on his level now, like doing that.
When you were judging him?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because what human beings don't know, and it's so crazy they don't know it, but I understand it, is that when you judge others, you're really judging yourself. The fire that is burning inside of you because anyone that's judged is burning. And that's why you felt like you were on his level, because it was happening to you. You were destroying yourself, thinking that you were judging him, but it was really happening to you.
Yeah, that do make sense now, because it brought on conflict in myself, and really what he was trying to do, like he would be being like weird, and it didn't really bring on conflict at first until I like played into it, and that's when the conflict kind of came into me.
Absolutely.
And it's weird because he could do what he want to do, and like there's no conflict there, even though he's trying to make it like that. But it's like when I fell into it, that's when the conflict kind of came. It was interesting to see that like conflict really don't exist until you kind of play into it.
Absolutely, man. Amazing. This is why I've been trying to. I have been trying to encourage people to know themselves. Because what human beings don't know, and I realize that now, is that every problem that they have is in them. It's not outside of them, it's inside of them. But because they're blind and can't see, they think it's outside and they think someone else is doing it. But it's really inside of them. And there are evil people who will try to bring problem up on you because they're miserable. They want you in hell with them so they can feel a false sense of life. But it's all inside of you. And that it's good that you see that and just keep eyes on you. Watch those thoughts. Don't call them you. It's only going to get better. Become clearer and clearer and clearer.
I appreciate it, Jesse. And I start HVAC. I'm about to start school for HVAC on December 9th.
Right on.
And I'm just kind of now just really. I'm doing good now, but I'm just getting everything together, and I appreciate you. I've been listening since I say 2019, 2020, something like that. You helped me a lot, like for life. Everything is just like peaceful, and I just go through things now. I still, like go through things like this situation here, but I can see that I'm on the right kind of track, kind of.
Absolutely. And I want you to know, and if you stay with this, and you will know this for sure. I promise you, promise you this. You're going to see that everything it seems like you're going through is not you. It's not happening to you. It's only in the mind. It's not even happening to you at all. It's just that you have been so associated, one, with the imagination. You thought it was you. And so those thoughts and emotions felt like you. The anger felt like you, or the fear felt like you, or the happiness felt like you. But you're going to see that it was never you. It's going to be amazing. So stay with it, all right?
All right.
And congratulations on your new training job.
Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate it.
All right. How old are you?
27.
Right on. Stay with it, Michael. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. See that you can wake up if you want to, folks. And your enemy will surround you. Your family member will turn on you. Your own mama will build an army against you. Your so-called friends, your wife, your husband will build an army, will turn on you. Your enemy will surround you. And yet, you will remain untouched. That is so deep and so true, I can hardly stand it. I didn't know that. And since if you don't believe me, get to know you. Really get to pay attention to what's happening inside of you. Or you can watch Donald Trump. Or you can read the history of Jesus. Same thing. Same thing. The same state that Jesus was in and is in, you could be in it too, right here on earth. Before I go back to the phone, hey, let's do Super Chat.
Super Chat.
Super.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you?
Doing fine, thank you.
Nice shirt.
Thanks. Knowledge is poison. The Hake Report.
And why do you say knowledge is poison?
Because knowledge puffs up, and so does poison.
Amazing.
Yeah. You think you know so much.
You notice that it's Bible Thumper. You know that the Bible Thumpers, they have a lot of knowledge of God. They have knowledge of the Bible. They have knowledge about Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Indeed.
And they have all this knowledge, and they're puffed up.
Right.
They're easily to anger. You cannot have a discussion with them. They get mad. They say, well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore then.
Just like a woman. I was listening to... Oh, finish your point. Sorry.
Right. Speaking of knowledge, even the Bible Thumpers are puffed up in knowledge. And it's poisoning.
Yeah. I was listening to Anchor Baby talking with his co-host yesterday. Bill.
Yeah.
And Bill said the woman thinking is like the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
And it's all just empty, shallow, intellectual thumping. Whereas the man is more like freedom.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That is deep.
Indeed.
Billy is a genius. Billy is our engineer here.
Yeah.
At Bond and the radio show and all that. The engineer is Billy. Amazing.
It was Double Genius Wednesday on American Anchor Baby yesterday.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're fortunate at the radio station. And Bond, we had 2 geniuses.
Right.
Geniuses, sis. The Anchor Baby and Billy.
Yeah.
What? No. Amazing. But nice shirt. How can people get it?
TheHakeReport.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Knowledge is poison.
I got this one from my new Printify store.
Nice.
So I recommend the Printify store.
Amazing.
You can still get Teespring. There's more selection there.
Yeah.
Harmony Grits gave a Cash App tip saying, and this was actually weeks ago, but I never got it because it said it was a personalized note. And sometimes these personalized notes, I don't have as easy of access to them. But anyway, she says, I'm getting my chimney ready for Santa. How about you guys?
That's right. Every year I get my chimney ready for Santa because I know when I wake up on Christmas morning, Santa will have come. And if you don't get the chimney ready, how are you going to get in? Where will he park his reindeers? So yes, Harmony, I'm getting ready. Amazing. Thank you.
And a mist from Lin Yen Chin, Jesse. We are not an endangered species. Google asserts that we are 1.2 billion in the world, not dollars. He's talking about blacks. That is 14.65% of the world. We are overpopulated in relation to our ability to be useful to ourselves and the world at large. Mama just told us we special. We black.
Amazing. Thank you, man. That's amazing. That's a lot of people, too.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Wow.
Shout out to the blacks.
I'm telling you. What's wrong with the blacks?
God knows.
Oh, he knows. Thank you.
No more thoughts about a coffee. You guys mentioned people having press conferences in their head.
Yes.
That's happened to me all my life. It must be like a think tank of demons in my head. Will seeing it happen eventually take it away? Will seeing it happen eventually take it away?
Absolutely. That's all you really need to do is to see it. And seeing it, do nothing else about it. Don't try to make it go away. Don't take drugs to try to make it go away. You just need to see it, and it will be taken away because they are demons. They are spirits in the thoughts, in the mind. It's just in the thoughts. It's not even real. Amazing. Thank you.
Pardon me for laughing during your answer because I was peeking ahead to Gregatron buying a coffee. Jesse, I think I found your soulmate. JLP fell in love with that, quote-unquote, classy, drunk, racist white woman who was on the bus. Jesse, you should find out who she is and interview her on your show or The Fallen State.
I know. I thought about that. I was like, I wish I could interview. I love that woman. A classy white woman. Had a nice little style about her. You can see she got money because her hair is all well done. Why are you laughing?
Your gestures made me crack up a little.
Well dressed.
And then you stopped yourself. That's what really made me laugh.
Well dressed. And then I love the fact how she dealt with those people. They're like, oh, you got to get off the bus. She's like, shut up.
Get off the bus, racist.
And she told those Indian people with the curry chicken.
Right.
She told them, you're not America. This is not your country. And you don't see that much. And then from classy women, you don't see it that much. So I love her. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She is my main thing.
Yep.
Mary don't play around. She like to have her fun. Remember that song?
Yeah, actually.
It was about pot.
Really?
I thought it was about a woman named Mary Jane, but I've been told. I don't know if maybe it's not true.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. She is my main thing. Mary likes to play around. She likes to have a fun. You remember that? You remember that, Nick? No.
Nope.
You don't remember Mary Jane?
I don't know whether I've heard it from you or
Mary
heard it
Jane.
from the radio or both.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. I think it was about drug, though. They would call it drug Mary Jane. And I think it was about acid or speed or something like that. Cocaine.
Well, Mary Jane is marijuana.
It's about pot. Yeah, I'm told you about pot. Everybody love Mary Jane.
Gregatron bought another coffee. Jesse, did you see Sleepy Joe falling asleep at Sloppy Joe falling asleep at that meeting with those Africans? He's looking like, why y'all got me up here talking to these people? Somebody should tell Joe that this is an N-word friendly zone.
I was at the gym yesterday. Yeah, I did see Joe by. We played it this morning, by the way. I was at the gym yesterday, and a friend of mine was waiting for someone to come to the gym and pick up a passion he has for them. And when the person finally got there, they came into the gym, and at the front desk, there were black people working. All the black people at the desk. And so this person texted my friend and said, I'm here. You have to come up. They won't let me in. They won't let me come back there. I have to come. You have to come up. So he went up and met with the person. They did whatever they had to do, right? And so when the person got in his car, they were leaving. They texted my friend, and they said, this ghetto gym, those damn N-word wouldn't even let me in. I'm like, N-word? What do you mean? But he wrote out the word.
Right.
And he called the black people the N-word.
Wow.
And he was a Jew. It was a Jew man person writing that to a white person about the black people. We were cracking up. I was like, he called him the N-word. He's like, yeah, look. They let me read it.
But they're not supposed to let you in.
Right.
You don't have a membership.
Well, they were just dropping something off. They wanted to come back here.
Right.
They thought they should be able to go back in the back where we were working out.
Yeah.
And just.
Maybe they had an attitude with it.
Yeah.
Maybe they were N-words with attitude.
You know how black people are.
Yeah.
They don't know how to be friendly. Not all, but most. But amazing. But thank you, yes.
Thank you, Gregatron.
Yes. I don't know how I come over that. That reminded me of that.
Lori bought a coffee. Morning, Jesse. My husband cussed me out this morning, and I immediately realized it started with me because I listened to a traitor thought.
Yeah.
Both our anger left when I pointed out the devil is messing with us. Grateful for seeing my traitor mind. Thanks, Jesse.
Nice. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. Amazing.
Shout out to Joseph for a Cash App. He says, all is well.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for your support.
And we'll have to read the rest later, guys.
That's amazing how we're going back home. When I come back from this break, folks, your phone calls, and we will finish the super chats. Hate news, not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. I read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to jlptalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingdemand.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell.
some serious mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, December 5th, AD 2024. There's one line open. Callers, hang tight. JLP will be right back to your calls, and we'll get to the rest of the Super Chats and some great stories. But there is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, Not Fake News, and JLP will be right back. So call in with your question or comment, or even just say hi. A potent winter storm, according to CNN, Cameo Nonsense Network, stretching from the Midwest to the Northeast, is knocking out power and disrupting travel for many commuters. Meteorologists, which means weathermen, are also warning of dangerous snow squalls that can create blinding whiteout conditions, seemingly out of nowhere. Heaven. No, I'm kidding. What a mess, huh? So watch out. And a New York manhunt. Did you hear about this? This one's crazy. United Healthcare, all one word. United Healthcare. CEO Brian Thompson, a relatively young man, was shot and killed, white, I think, in Manhattan. That's in New York City on Wednesday morning. Early morning, kind of like right after midnight or something. I don't know. It seemed like it. In a brazen targeted attack, they call it, as he walked toward the company's annual investor conference. Early in the morning, I think. Must have been, right? That's what New York police said. The gun, so-called man, I call him gun male, remains on the loose, and a motive is unclear. Just walked up behind him and shot him a bunch of times. They caught it on video, surveillance camera. Police shared video of the hooded suspect and urged New Yorkers, be alert. As the search intensifies, detectives said that they found a phone in an alley that the gun male ran through. I think he escaped on bicycle, by the way. It may have belonged to the shooter, the murderer, right? The alleged murderer. Police found, or assassin, really. Police also found a bottle of water that detectives believe the so-called man, purchased at Starbucks just minutes before the attack. Wow. The water bottle could yield fingerprints or DNA. If police technicians can unlock the phone, it may provide the suspect's identity. What a mess. And it looks like he's a white, but I don't know. Terrible. California school shooting. Speaking of gun males, not men. 2 kindergarten students are in critical condition after they were wounded in a shooting Wednesday at a school north of Sacramento, up in NorCal. That would be that way. The boys ages 5 and 6. A 6-year-old kindergarten? Lame. Anyway, they were being treated at local hospitals, said Butte County Sheriff Corey, K-O-R-Y, Honea to reporters, hours after the gun male opened fire at the Feather River Adventist School in the city of Oroville. Oro means gold. A suspect was found dead at the scene with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound, Honea said. The man, so-called man, has not been identified but could not immediately be named due to an ongoing investigation. Authorities believe the suspect had targeted that school because of affiliation with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Very controversial church. Not really, but what a mess, huh? Paris stowaway, a Russian woman. Looks kind of like what are those, gypsy? But I don't know, maybe just a regular Russian woman who stowed away on a Delta Airlines, flight from New York to Paris last week, was arrested after she returned to the United States Wednesday night, the FBI said. She's expected to be charged with being a stowaway on a vessel or aircraft without consent and could face up to 5 years in prison. Was it worth it? Probably not, according to multiple law enforcement officials. The shocking breach has drawn attention to security lapses at New York's JFK International Airport that enabled an unticketed person to slip in, a wake-up call for the airline industry. But they say their infrastructure is sound. I'm James Hake. Now back to the JLP Show, Hour 2.
have to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week: have you discovered the traitor in you? Have you discovered the traitor in you? Amazing, huh? You can podcast the show, but if you're busy running around taking your children to a public school because you hate your kids, and then you don't want to sit home and be a mother to them because you want to go out and get a job because you want to feel like a man. You want you want to be recognized. You want to be appreciated. So you go to work and you dropping the kids off at school and let them be totally destroyed. And then when they go up crazy, you wonder what happened. You still can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Merry Christmas, by the way. It is Thursday, and we take all calls, but every Thursday, ill is, will be, and shall be. Let it be written, let it be said, let it be known that Thursdays are Bible Thumper Thursdays. Oh, Lord.
All right, brother. Are you ready? He's drunk as a badger.
He's drunk as a bastard.
Go ahead. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
Oh, shut up. Fire. Fire. They're having church up in there. 888-7753-773. Let me go to, is it REINO? REINO? A first time call out of Minnesota. REINO, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, this is REINO Pannon in here.
Thanks for calling. You know,
Minnesota.
Yeah, don't say your last name.
Minnesota.
Don't say your last name. Just say your first name.
Okay, REINO. Yeah, this is REINO. Yeah.
Thanks for calling, REINO. From first time call out of Minnesota. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
I'm on live.
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
All right, I'm just calling today to share my testimony with people here. 3 years ago, I got diagnosed with COVID, and I was sick in a hospital bed, dying in El Paso, Texas. And I thought it was the end. And I never gave up. I just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And 3 years later, Today, I'm a lot healthier, back on my feet. I'm not bedridden. My diabetes is under control. My kidneys are functioning better. My blood pressure, everything is better. And I just did what I had to do, listen to the doctors, fight hard for my life, and do what's right. Do the right thing, like you say. Fight for yourself, fight for what needs to be done. And I never gave up. I just want to tell people that if you have hope and you trust in God, He can bring you to heights that you've never been to before.
Amazing.
And you should believe in God and always believe in yourself. I know you talk about yourself, but God gives you the strength to find who you are and what you're made of.
And have you overcome your anger?
Not all of it.
And why not?
Because it's just the way the memory works, I guess. It's there to remind you sometimes of the mistakes you made or try to humiliate you for the things that you've done. But
that's not the purpose.
I know I can't change that either. It's in the past and it's over with.
Why don't you drop your anger? You focus on your body, and you said the body is better. Which is more important to you?
The mind. The mind is more.
Which is most important to you, your body or your spirit?
The spirit.
So why don't you work as hard on dropping your anger?
Well, I am. I do both.
So why don't you drop it?
Outlet. Drop what?
Why haven't you dropped your anger?
It's hard to drop it sometimes.
Why?
I'm only human, and
why is it hard to drop it sometimes?
Because the feelings you have, your feelings in your mind, the way it works, how you express yourself.
Are you your mind?
No, I'm not my mind. No.
Are you your emotions?
No.
So why don't you drop them?
I'm working on it.
By doing what?
Something that I need to figure out myself. I'm working on it every day to become better.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, I have actually. I seen her the first time in a year and a half on Thanksgiving. I don't condone her lifestyle. I love her very much, but she's an addict, and a lot of my families are addicts, and we're all struggling with addiction, and it's okay. But being lost in addiction and trying to overcome addiction is another story.
Did you tell your mother you were sorry for resenting her for what she done to you?
I told her I loved her.
Did you tell her you was wrong for hating her for what she done to you?
No, I haven't, but I should. I should tell her that. But I don't hate her, though.
Yes, you do hate her. You have not forgiven her. So you don't love her. You haven't even forgiven her.
No, I've forgiven her. We've seen each other. I mean, what else were we supposed to do?
You didn't tell her you were wrong for resenting her.
No, I guess I didn't. But
why not?
I don't resent her. I mean, she put me here. How can you resent? I can't hold on to anger. How
will God forgive you and draw you into the kingdom of heaven if you don't forgive your mother and your father?
Well, my father's deceased. He died in 2009. That's another thing I want to share.
How will you enter into the kingdom of heaven if you don't forgive your mother?
I can't.
So why don't you go and forgive her?
I'm working on it. I am forgiving her. I want her back in my life, but the way she's on mess.
You don't need her back in your house. Your life. You don't want her back in your life. You just want to.
She's with people that I don't want to be around. I can't.
Right.
I can't be around those kind of people.
And you don't need to be
in my recovery.
REINO, you don't need to be around her. You don't need to take care of her. I would suggest if she's into certain things, don't be around her. But you gotta forgive her for what she's done to you. So that God can forgive you, and then you can drop the anger.
And I'm working. I want to. And what do you suggest I do when something like that becomes a problem, and I don't want to deal with it?
Just say, hey, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around your hell. I'm just saying I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you can help yourself, but I don't want to be around you. You can tell her that.
Yep, and and she knows that, and she does her own thing, and I can't tell her to live her life and how she lives her life.
Right,
she's my mother.
No, that's not. And, you let her live in her hell, and don't judge her. But she can leave her in her hell. My only thing is that for you to drop your anger, you got to forgive her for being angry at her, and God will forgive you.
Yeah, I need that because I can't hold that anger and holding on to all that anger and all that resentment and whatever comes with that is not good. It's not healthy.
You can drop it right now if you wanted to.
And I am. Today is a new day. I'm living for today. That's all you have is today.
Right.
And
well,
I appreciate your show. I just want to say that I listen to you every day. You inspire me to keep going, and I want to tell people out there that you're a wise man. Listen to your words, and I'm not going to argue with you or say anything negative, but it's a great show, and some people just need to understand that, realize it.
Right on. Well, you stay with it, man. Work on your spirit. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better, all right?
I know it's going to get better, man. I thank you, and I appreciate your show, and I appreciate all the work that you guys do, and thank you for all the things that you guys do for the community in the world.
Right
God
on.
bless you all.
You too, buddy. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. Let me go to Jeff, a first-time caller out of Missouri. There's one line open, 888-77-JESSE. Jeff, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, I have a Bible conversation to have with you. Knowledge is a part of the gifts, and so that's not what you are. I studied the Bible for a long time.
Go ahead.
I studied the Bible for a long time, and I've come to some realizations. It says in the Gospels, it says that the thief will bind the strong man, then he'll steal his gifts. And so that kind of blew my mind. And basically, Satan has came in and divided our churches up so that he can destroy us. So that's why you have, a Protestant church, you have a Catholic church, you have a Baptist church, because the gifts in 1 Corinthians 12 have been separated. And so since we can't run a race with a full body, we're made to look like fools. And so any atheist that's listening to us right now, I just want to apologize to you, because Christians don't read our Bibles. Christians don't pray. Christians don't try to help themselves by healing. And so now we're in this big mess.
Jeff, what good has it done you to read all that, to get all that knowledge? What good has this done you?
It helps me to see my brothers and sisters for who they are. And it's heart, mind, soul strength. And I do a lot of thinking with my mind.
But Jeff, everything you just said is the dumbest thing I ever heard of in my whole life. And I've heard it before from other preachers, other so-called Christians. What you just said about, the church is divided, and that's why the Satan divided this, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It can't get any dumber than that.
Okay. So why do you think that it's dumb?
Because you think that the Christians are divided because of a church building or because of other people and all that. And that's not true. The people are divided because they're in themselves is nothing but hell. They have not returned to the Father. They have not been born again. And Satan is operating through them. It has nothing to do with a church, Catholic church, this kind of church, or that kind of church. It's in the people.
Oh, I agree. I agree with what you're saying
But everything you just said it made no sense. But you have all this knowledge, and you think what you said is true.
Right, where there's different parts of the body. The runner has feet, and those are the things that touch the ground. But the hands, they don't touch the ground, but they do have a part.
You still speaking crazy stuff.
Oh, I know. A lot of things are over your head, Jesse.
That's not even over my head. That's dumb. Why do you hold on to knowledge?
It's not. I hold on to a lot of things.
Why do you hold on to knowledge?
It's not that I'm holding on to knowledge, but I do acknowledge it as a gift.
Knowledge is not a gift. You're supposed to not hold. That's why you don't have wisdom, because you've held on to knowledge, and now you just have a head full of knowledge, and it does no good for you at all. Zero.
No,
it does you no good. You still cry at night.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jonah, when he was going to go prophesy that Nineveh was going to be destroyed, he suicidal and angry, but he still did the words of God. He still did the will of the Father.
And so your knowledge is only keeping you lost from wisdom and from understanding. And all you're doing is reading the Bible, and you, in your head, you're comparing yourself to Jonah and Jonah's mama, and yet you cry at night, and yet you have suicidal thoughts, and yet you're lonely, yet you're lost, but you think knowledge is the thing to hold on to. Why?
Well, there's two parts to this conversation. Yes, I hold on to knowledge because knowledge becomes wisdom, and
But God tells you not to hold on to knowledge. Why you hold on to it?
Because that's a gift of the Spirit.
You're right, of Satan.
No, the Spirit of the Bible.
No, that's a gift of Satan.
God.
Satan pretend to be God by giving you knowledge, and knowledge puff you up, and knowledge makes you think you're of God, and you're not. You don't even have...
I've never said I would...
Have you... You never what?
I never said I was Satan. I never said that.
I didn't say you.
Was Satan.
I said Satan is pretending to be God by giving you knowledge, but it's only puffing you up, and yet you have. Do you have perfect peace?
So wait. Oh well, I'm working on perfect peace.
Do you have perfect peace?
I have a perfect saved soul in the blood of Christ. But
do you have perfect peace?
I have perfect peace knowing that my soul is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, yes.
And all that knowledge that you have, why don't you have perfect peace? You have a head full of knowledge. Why don't you have perfect peace?
I guess if you want to say it in that context, yes, I have perfect peace.
No, you're lying now. Why don't you have perfect peace with all that knowledge?
That's what I'm confused. I guess if I say I have perfect peace, I'm a liar, and if I say I don't have perfect peace,
you said
then I'm Satan.
You said you don't have it. You're only human. You say you're only human. You don't have it. Your name is in some book called the Lamb of something. And yet you don't have perfect peace, but you have a head full of knowledge, and you love your knowledge, and you think that's from God when it's really from Satan. Because God tells you not to hold on to knowledge. You want understanding. Above all things, get understanding, not knowledge, man. Knowledge has come. It brings you some information, but you let it go so wisdom can come, understanding. You want understanding, not just knowledge.
I think I want both.
No.
Okay, so let's go to Jesus, and he's on the Temple Mount, and quote unquote Satan is quoting him scripture. What did he quote back to him?
What did he quote back?
He quoted scripture.
What did he say?
He corrected the lies or the half-truths of what Satan had told him.
What did he say to Satan? What did he say to Satan?
If you concerning the angels, if you jump off this temple, you will not strike your foot on a stone. And then he came back with a scripture and said, "You shall not test the Lord your God."
And your point is what?
The point is that there's many parts of the body, and you're just one of them, and then your listeners are a complete part of the body. But yet, I think you're narrow-minded.
How did that have anything to do with what Satan said to Jesus, man?
Because he corrected it with Scripture. That was the point I was making.
But why are you letting? So how come your scriptures are not working on Satan?
Oh, they are.
No, they're not.
I've experienced.
They have totally control of.
I've experienced every one of the gifts. I've experienced every one, and I've seen the power. See, because Jesus said, "The kingdom will come with power," and so
yet
a lot
you have
of words,
no power.
Oh, I've seen it. No, are you? No. You don't know me, Jesse.
No. You have zero power.
No, I'm the body. Christ is the head.
You have zero power.
I have zero power in terms of maybe being a human, but I definitely have powers in being the spirit.
No,
And see,
you
I
have
think that's what
zero
you're saying.
power in the spirit. You have no power. I can test your power right now.
Okay, go for it.
Make yourself stop being angry.
You know, there's really beautiful dry leaves out here in my backyard, and I can see the sun shining on my face.
I said, make yourself stop. I ain't asked
It
about
feels
no
wonderful.
leaves. Make yourself stop. Oh, do this then. With all your power, do this one thing only. Make yourself stop thinking. Right now.
Okay, well, here, time out. I think you're misunderstanding.
Make yourself stop thinking right now.
The power you're describing is what I will use to go and listen to you and buy you a coffee and listen to a wise old man, because I believe that's what you are. You have some wisdom. You have some knowledge.
You still didn't do what I asked you to do with your power yet.
Well, because you're not listening long enough to me for me to explain what my power is.
I said, make yourself stop thinking. Never have another negative thought.
Lift a rock that you created.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, buddy. 888-7753-773. I gave him the proper amount of time for Bible Thumper. But I can't go on and on and on. Josh is out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
All is well, Josh. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas to you, man.
Right on.
I was calling in to that biblical question.
Have you discovered the traitor in you?
Yeah, I have.
And who is it? And how? When you say you have, what do you mean? Explain.
I just see myself. Well, I see something in me causing me to do things that that hurt me and hurt us, and through the thoughts, I do things I don't want to do. And you had a call earlier this week about a guy saying that his family was like close family and friends were always trying to bring him back into their world because he had kind of got away. And that's exactly what's going on with me. I see, something tempts me to call up old family and friends when I don't even really, it's just a fake conversation for a thrill, and they don't. I'm better off having nothing to do with these people, but for some reason I keep them in my life somehow.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I believe the thoughts that tell me to, call them for a thrill.
Well, why you keep believing it?
I'm not even sure I have control over it.
Why not? After all this time, why not?
Why don't I have control over it?
Right.
Because it isn't me, and I don't have that control over that.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't? Okay. Well, it's either that or I got to practice watching the thoughts harder.
Do you want control over it?
Yeah.
Just stop doing what it says and just see them, but do not do what they say. That's all you do. Don't do what they say. You have control.
Okay.
If they tell you to call up an old friend or tell you to call up family member, you know it's just for a thrill. You already know that. Why not? Yeah. Why not notice, see that they're telling you that, but don't do it? You don't have to do it.
Right.
All you need to do is see it.
Right. And it seems a little practical That's what it is.
Meaning
the
what?
practical get confused up with like if my mom calls me to wish me a happy Thanksgiving and I call her back. You know, that seems like the practical thing to do, but
why?
It's just I don't know.
If your mother called you and say, "Hey, Josh, happy Thanksgiving," and she leave this message, or she speaks to you, "Happy Thanksgiving," why do you think you need to call her back?
I don't know. It's just like, it's either something you want to do. There have been times when I haven't, and but you know, this year I felt like calling back.
But you said the thought made you. You said the thought made you do it.
Right, because at the time I didn't know if is this a practical thought or is this like a live thought? Because you know,
why even thinking of it that way at all? Why do you have to give it those type of names? Why don't you just see it for what it is? It's just a thought. Why you have to call it practical or live thought?
Because I don't know, because I don't know which one is which sometimes.
You don't know what a practical thought is?
Because that's what caused me to fall for the live thoughts.
You don't know what a practical thought is?
I don't, not 100%.
You don't know what a practical thought is?
I don't know.
I don't know what.
I don't know if I know, because it seems like, why do I keep falling for the live thoughts because thinking that they're practical at the time.
But why do you have to think about, oh, is this a practical thought or that's a practical? Why do you have to think? Why are you going into thoughts about that?
Because I'm trying to disbelieve the live thoughts.
That's not how you disbelieve. You disbelieve by not acting upon them.
So no thoughts I act upon.
Josh, you got to go to work tomorrow, right? You got to get in your truck, right?
Yeah.
Is that practical or not?
That's practical.
Why do you need to think about that?
I don't.
Why do you need to figure out if that's practical or not?
I don't.
Then what are you talking about then?
Yeah, but that's an easy one though.
Josh, there's something that you know that you're hungry around lunchtime or dinner time?
Yeah.
Is that practical, that you want to eat?
Yeah.
Why do you need to think about it then?
I don't.
So why is it all of a sudden you can't tell what a practical thought is? And why are you even thinking in your head about what is practical and what is not practical? Why have you gone into those kind of thoughts, period?
Because I want to stop believing thoughts.
But all you're doing is getting deeper.
Okay.
You never thought about having to go to work or not going to work beforehand. How come all you're doing is getting deeper into thoughts? Because now you're trying to figure out what's practical and what's not. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Really? Well, yeah, okay. This is good. This is, this is something that I get. This is what I get caught up in. This is why
But why?
Either it feels good, either I'm running from the pain of it. That must be what it is.
No, you're getting deeper into thoughts, man. You going into now, I don't know what a practical thought is. What is a practical thought? I got to go to the toilet. Is that practical? Why are you thinking about it? Go to the toilet. And when you're done with the toilet, you're done.
So that's the easy one. Calling my parents back on Thanksgiving when they call me, is that practical or unpractical?
Only if you want to call. If you want to call back, fine. If you don't, fine. But you're not obligated to call Mama. If you want to call her, call. If you don't call her, it's not difficult.
Okay.
Josh, I got to take a break.
All right, man.
I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday with the people going, thank you. I got to take a break. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Okay, folks, welcome back. Cameos. I'm doing many cameos right now. Personalized shout-outs, right? Birthday shout-outs. Merry Christmas now. Happy New Year. Encouragement shout-outs. Whatever your occasion, congratulations. Whatever your shout-out is, I'll do them for you. Go to Cameo, Cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And get your orders in so you can receive them on time for Christmas. Your gifts for other people or for yourself. Go to the store, merch, rebuildingaman.com/store, rebuildingaman.com/store, and order your mugs and T-shirts, and we're going to show them to you in a minute here. Your mugs and T-shirts and hoodies and all kind of good stuff there. My books, and my books are amazing gifts. Really amazing gift. It's something that will last the reader forever if they read it. From Rage to Responsibility, Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America, 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, Financial Success Guide. Only 7 steps. What the? And then last but not least, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. Hate, blame, and victimhood. All right? I will sign them, and if you want them on time, it's up to you. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. We have a bond holiday sale going on. 15% off on all merch for this month. For this month. All merch. It's like a Black Friday for a month. So go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. And last but not least, make your donations to Bond, my nonprofit, tax deductible. We need your support. We got a lot of work to do. You've been helped, so help us to help others. There's something good about giving, but give in secret. Don't wave your gifts around so the world can see you're giving. Don't be puffed up about it. You've already received your reward if you're doing it that way. Give secretly. And I shouldn't have to ask, but I know I have to remind you. Go and give to Bond. You've been help others. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/donate. Rebuildingtheman.com/donate. Or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. All right? And thank you in advance. It's a time for giving, too. I know some of you have been traumatized. You're mad at the churches. They took your money and you end up with nothing. It's different now. You're being helped. And there's something good about giving if you do it with the right spirit. All right? Super chat. Super.
Super chats. JV the Great bought 3 coffees. I came across this going through the Bible. After 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John with him, led them up to a high mountain. They were alone. He was transfigured before them there. Clothes became dazzling white, whiter than anyone in the world could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah and Moses, talking with Jesus. Peter said, Rabbi, this is good for us to be here. Let's put up 3 shelters, one for you, Moses, and Elijah, and one for Elijah. He did not know what to say. They were so frightened. And a voice from the cloud, this is my son, whom I love. Listen to him. Suddenly, when they looked around, they were no longer saw anyone with them except Jesus. How can people claim Jesus is God when he's saying, this is my son?
It's crazy, but the Christians who believe that Jesus is God, they only going by what somebody else told them. Jesus said, I'm the Son of God. Jesus said, my Father and I are one. Jesus said, I'm going back to my Father, and I'm going to sit at the right hand of my Father. Jesus said, it's not me that's doing the work. It's my Father in me. Jesus said, I got to go away and pray for a minute, y'all. I'll be right back. To the disciples, I got to go and seek my Father's will. Jesus said, in his love, there's always someone there to remind me when your heart is filled with sorrow and there seems to be no tomorrow in his love. Jesus said the same state I'm in, you could be in too. You could do greater works. But yet the Christians say, oh, this is God. And Jesus like, what the? That's why Jesus didn't like hanging around folks. You know that he didn't hang around people? He would go and tell them remarkable things, preach to them remarkable things, and then he heard or believe.
Indeed.
Because people are crazy.
They wanted to make him king.
Yeah. They're looking for a leader. They're looking for a king. And Jesus is like, what the? You have a great king in you. And yet you're trying to make a king. And so they made the Bible their king. They made knowledge their king. People are dumb.
Indeed.
Dumb.
That's a fact.
Dumb.
Yep.
Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
C-Bill, 7 coffees. The Asian man who confronted the black men in California said nothing wrong. He's just looking out for his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most black men present themselves as thugs. Not all. LM blank O. And the criminals look just like them. Laughing faces with tears. Sideways.
Not all, but more. We played this video yesterday where this black guy was in what appeared to be in an Asian neighborhood. And the Asian man asked him, what you doing over here? And the black man, something like, I'm taking pictures of doing something, he said. And the Asian man said, this is a no N-word zone. And the black guy said, tut. And the Asian said, I'm a racist. We've been having problems in this neighborhood lately. So the super chatters responded to that. Thank you.
Thank you, C-Bill.
Yeah.
Jamil bought our coffee. Hey, I thought I knew my Indian food, but I've never heard of what Joel was eating. Where do you even buy tikka masala? What the?
What did you call it?
I don't even want to repeat it.
Was it a name made? It wasn't real? Or was he just pronouncing it wrong?
Well, as I recall, you pronounced it wrong. And I'm not sure what he pronounced it.
But I think he had the right name for it. I just had never heard of it either. But it sounds like he really liked that kind of food, too. Come masala later.
Right.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamil. Aries 1 with a Ninjagini over on the D-Live crew. Aries 1 says, Psalm 23:5, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
Amazing. Thank you.
Jesse bought 3 coffees. Hey, Uncle Jesse, my son is 10 and is identifying with his long hair. I think it's a mess. I want him to cut it. How do I deal with this?
Just say, boy, you going to get a haircut. That's all do it. He's 10 years old. That's not his choice. Son, you're not going to have long hair like a little girl. Women have long hair because that's their beauty. Are you trying to be beautiful? And say, hey, we're going to the barbershop. And this stuff coming off. And just don't be angry at him. But you got to do it. You're the daddy, he's the boy. He's the child.
It might be a mother.
You're the mama, he's still the boy, he's still a child. And say your son, you don't want to look like mama, do you? Girls wear long hair, boys wear short hair. The hair of the woman is her beauty. Are you trying to be beautiful? Next thing you're going to want some earrings to go with your long hair. What the? You cut it off then. Amazing. Just don't be angry. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. Nice. Let me go to California and talk to Raymond out of California. Raymond, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Raymond.
I'm trying to not overshoot in my learning to just let people stay in their hell and take care of me. But there's more complications, it seems like. Like, for example, our school board here has 7 people. Some righteous people, I think, that are trying to do good, and then the majority trying to hurt people. And I want to fight against it, but should I just let them? Should I just ignore the indoctrination and the crazy stuff they're doing to the kids?
Do you have kids in school?
No, mine all made it through.
Oh, then yeah, you be done with it. No, you let other people deal with that. That's their problem. Most parents want their children in those schools. That's why they put them there. Why should you be concerned about it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel I thought there's words that say you're called to do this, or nobody else is going to do it if you don't, kind of a thing. And walking away seems wrong.
If you were called to do it, there would be no emotion or thinking about it involved at all. So you weren't called to do that.
Okay.
And you don't have a right to bring anyone on trial, because you can't do it anyway, but you don't have a right to bring anyone out of the hell, and you don't have a right to be upset at those parents who don't care about their children, that put their children into public schools. You don't have a right to be mad at the school for screwing up the children because the parents don't care. They're not your children. They belong to the parents of those children.
Okay. I was finding lots of excuses, and I appreciate that, and I needed your input because I was afraid I was going to overshoot. But I was saying community, and I just felt like nobody else seen it. Nobody else sees this.
They do see it. Believe me, you're not the only one that sees it. They see it. They just don't care. Look at these women who are having these children, and they'd rather take those children and dump them off at a daycare center, a government program, or school, rather than stay home and raise them, because they love their own ego. They don't care about the children at all. And here you are trying to save those children where the parents don't care. It doesn't make sense.
I sent them a link to Uncle Tom 2, that beautiful movie you've made.
Yeah. It was amazing.
That's
Check
the
out
truth.
Uncle Tom 2. But when you care about it, it's all ego. And that kind of caring is not even love at all. It's just something that makes you feel good and give you a false sense of righteousness.
That's the input I needed. Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Bye now. 888-7753. Why should you care about the children? Why? They're not your children. You're supposed to care about your children, not somebody else's children. Those parents don't. There was a little Mexican baby over at the border recently, and she had a little sign in her hand. And I heard the Christian people go, "Oh, the child, the children," put on an act. They want to make themselves feel good by making themselves believe and want you to see that they care about the children. They can care less. The parents who sent the children across the border without any protection didn't care about them. Yeah, a Salvadoran child. It was from El Salvador. I've been there before. Beautiful place. Especially San Salvador. Stop being so ego-driven. You don't care about those children. And the parents don't either. You just feel good. Oh, look at that. That's terrible. Let me go to Marcus, a first-time caller out of Houston, Texas. Marcus, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi. I just
are you on a, you're not on a speaker, are you, Marcus?
1 second. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, were you on a speaker?
I was.
Did the guy tell you not to be on a speaker?
Yeah, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sorry.
All right, buddy. Go ahead.
But yes, I have a couple questions about women that you have. Like I've heard you talk about on your show.
Okay.
Like you know, there's a lot of issues with women I'm seeing out here, and I just want to see, what do you see out here with these women?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Like I feel like I'll have a lot of issues with my mother and stuff like that.
Yes.
And you know, I saw that you started a show and you were talking about we have to forgive our mothers.
Right.
And I'm sure that you went through the same thing. And
have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out exactly what exactly it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where it is that I messed up in. Like, you know what I mean?
What kind of issue you have with your mother right now?
Well, I don't know. Just my anger issues and stuff like that, maybe.
You get angry at her?
Just in life, in certain areas, I guess.
You get angry at your mother in certain areas?
Yeah.
Like what, for an example?
Well, really, it's just in life. Not really in my mother. You know, I'm depressed and stuff like that.
And why haven't you forgiven your mother for recreating her image, and now you feel like her, you think like her? Why haven't you forgiven her for turning you away from your father and recreating her in your image, recreating you in her image?
Well, I wanted to know exactly what I had to do with that, like how I had to do that.
Once you see that you get angry at her, which is hatred, and when you hate her, you're judging her, and when you judge her, you're going to always have those type of issues you're having. But when you realize you become like her, you now understand how she think, how she feel, she couldn't help herself, then you go and apologize for hating her for what she's done to you and be done with her. But God is not going to forgive you until you forgive your mother and your father. Your father for not protecting you from your mother. He's not going to forgive you until you forgive, and you're not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven until you forgive.
So have we both went through this same kind of thing before? Like, I feel like I'm the only person. Like, I don't know.
Well, why do you think you're the only one when everybody else around you are having the same issues?
So we're all forgiving our mothers? Like, I guess it's, I don't know.
Why, you're not answering my question. Why do you feel like you're the only one when everyone else around you are having the same problem with their mothers?
Well, I didn't know that. That's why.
Yeah, they are.
Well, you know, I guess, I don't know, maybe I guess I can see why maybe you forgave your mother a long time ago, maybe. You know, maybe it's because you look like a fucking garbage.
I knew he was doing something. I knew it.
I
didn't too, but I wanted to come all the way up to it. I saw the devil before he got there. What the?
I clicked them off. That cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't want them cursing on the phone. But I knew it. I already knew it. You can see the devil before they get there. What the?
And I just took my finger off the button, too.
But I saw it when he kept, so you forget your... Yeah, you can see the phony. You can see it coming. Amazing! Okay. Let me go to John, a first-time caller out of New Hampshire.
Good morning.
John,
Good morning.
welcome to the show. You're on the air.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. How are you?
All is well, John.
Yeah, thanks for spreading the good news. I mean, like you were talking about, somebody was talking about knowledge, having a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
But without understanding, that knowledge doesn't help because just like knowing a roadmap or how to get to a certain area, I can know all that, the roadmap, but if I haven't gone to the destination, if I have not traveled, I would not know. So I think your work and what you're doing, you're spreading understanding. And it did say in the Bible, with everything get understanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
It says faith without work is dead.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference from, it even says in the Bible that the letter killeth.
Absolutely, man.
Killeth, but the spirit will give life. So, and your meditation, whatever that stuff you're doing, actually brought me to self-awareness, where I become aware.
Yeah, that's why with the silent prayer, all you need to do is watch. You be still and watch what's going on in your imagination, and you'll soon see that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not your body, you're none of these things that you thought you were, because the light of God is now shining on the darkness.
Right. And I don't know where the thoughts are coming from, but...
straight out of hell. They're from evil. The thoughts are coming from evil that made a home in you.
Yeah. And sometimes I do, because I'm not perfect. Because Christ says, be perfect. Like my Father is in heaven, it's perfect.
Right.
But I do make mistakes sometimes. Like, I let the thoughts turn into feelings. And once it gets to feelings, it's like pretty too late.
And who are you?
I am the one observing my thoughts. I'm not, I'm just a spirit that's in the body.
And so who are you? When you say you let your thoughts get to you like that, who are you that's letting this happen? Who is John?
I think I'm a spirit.
But who is John?
Who's me?
Yeah.
I'm really like, that's a tough question. I'm really like nothing really. Just I am the observer.
What observer? What do you mean you're the observer?
Like
what did that mean?
I know my thoughts are not who I am.
John.
But I'm the one that's... Yes, sir.
Hold on. Let me take a quick break.
Okay.
And you have time to smoke on this one.
Sure.
888-7753-773. Quick break. Hate news, not the fake news. 1 more hour to go. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, December 5th, 2024 AD. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls and more great stories and super chats. But first, Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the HakeReport.com. That's my show, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then after that, Joel Friday TV. His last day of the week for his show is Thursday. He's live Monday through Thursday, 11 to 12 Pacific time. That's 1 to 2 Central, 2 to 3 Eastern, I believe. And then at 4 p.m. Pacific time, I do believe, American Anchor, baby. Check it out. Tomorrow night is the first Thursday of the month. Men's Forum. Men's Forums are first Thursday of the month. Women's Forums third Thursday of the month, typically, unless they're canceled. You can check rebuildingtheman.com/events if you need more info. Or you can call the Bond office, 1-800-411-BOND, 1-800-411-2663. Some disgusting stuff going on in the world. The so-called Supreme Court appeared likely, though, to endorse a divisive Tennessee law. They call it divisive, meaning it's right, dividing right from wrong, supposedly, that bans gender-affirming care. The gender misidentification, so-called affirming care, right? So-called care for minors. After more than 2 hours of oral arguments on Wednesday, the case is U.S. versus Skrmetti, S-K-R-M-E-T-T-I, could determine whether states can restrict puberty blockers, and so-called hormone therapy for so-called transgender children and teens. What a mess. A decision is expected by July of 2025. So you're going to have to wait for several months, probably. During the arguments, the so-called justice, the black female affirmative action one, supposedly picked by Biden, as if he picks anything, Ketanji Onyeka Brown Jackson. She, of course, she's the talker, right? She talks way too much. She's out of control. Whereas the other black justice, the one true justice, Clarence Thomas, he speaks very little. Very little. And he's the solid one, and she's the wackiest one. She said she was suddenly quite worried and nervous, and those are quotes, about the conservatives' arguments in the controversy, so-called controversy. Republican lawmakers support the ban. They say decisions about so-called care should be made after an individual becomes an adult, not when they're a underage young dumb sucker. Shout out to the young and dumb suckers. You should be an old sucker, right? Before you can do that mess. If you even should be able to do that mess. Opponents argue that in addition to violating the so-called civil rights of trans youth, the laws also run afoul of parents' rights. Parents' rights to make decisions about their child's medical care. Sick stuff, huh? Sick stuff. They don't care about the parents. They violate the fathers every day. What a mess. Anyway, Bitcoin hit a record $100,000 for just one measly, piddly little Bitcoin. 100 grand for the first time on Wednesday, surging to a record high as President-elect Donald J. Trump prepares to usher in crypto-friendly policies when he takes office in January. Trump plans to nominate Paul Atkins to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Atkins is a crypto advocate and former SEC commissioner. He is expected to regulate cryptocurrencies with a lighter touch. It's finesse. Then Gary Gensler, who leads the commission under the evil Joe so-called Biden administration. Bitcoin is up 130% for the year so far, with a post-election rally accounting for a significant portion of their gains, making gains. Their performance far outpaces the S&P 500, Bitcoin's does, and the S&P 500 is up 28% over the same period because they know that Trump is the man with the plan for the great economy. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We also are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to this third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question for this week is a doozy. Have you discovered the traitor in you? Have you discovered the traitor in you? Have you? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com. And if you're busy, you can listen to the show. You can podcast, of course. Always podcast. But you can be listening no matter where you are and what you're doing. On your iPhone, iPad, anywhere in the world. And we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. All right, so you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, and we are going to get to your super chats here in a minute. Call to donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Thursday, and every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday. All that.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I know feel your faith. Are you ready?
That's what I'm talking about. So I got, and then I get right back to the callers here. Yesterday at the end of the show, a young man called, and he was talking about his child in the public school. And what did I think about homeschooling? And public schools are no good, folks. It's just the way it is. And I do understand that parents who are putting their children in public school do not love their children. It's about themselves. And they make no sacrifice for their children at all. And yet you think you need to be concerned about them. What the? How you going to be concerned about somebody else's child? It's like social workers, right? They pretend they care, but it's all about the money. But anyway, so my producer gave me this morning. And it's just another what's happening in the public school. No big deal. According to the headline here from my producer, Ohio kids can take Satanic Temple lessons during school hours now. Isn't that amazing? Satanic Temple lessons during school hours. This is from the New York Post. Ohio school children can now spend part of their school day learning the teaching of the Satanic Temple through the state religious release program. Watch this from WSYX ABC6.
It is not to push a religious agenda. It is to just have an alternative.
That alternative is known as HAIL, the Hellions Academy of Independent Learning. It will work like LifeWise Religious Release Program, which has been a part of the Marysville District since 2023. Betty Ellswick is one of 2 parents who helped bring HAIL here to Marysville.
We wanted to make sure that we had a program that was teaching compassion and empathy and also inclusion. Several parents had expressed concerns with their kids coming home being bullied or made fun of or teased. For not participating in the other programs that were available in the area.
Kids are simply there to have fun and do a little bit of learning.
June Everett is the National Campaign Director for HAIL. The Satanic Temple could be misleading.
Oh, hell no. HAIL. Oh, hell no. They want to learn about hell. See how sweet they make it sound? See how the ladies present evil? It's just so sweet. It sounds like Christianity, right? The mothers who are sending their children to those schools, and the fathers, well, the father can't help it because the mother controls the father. But they don't love the children. That is not love. And the mothers will get up in the morning, dress their kids up, and drop them off at school. In some cases, take the buses. And they're going to go to school and learn to, oh, hell, Satan. And the mother's like, oh, okay, I got to go to work. I get my thrill at work, they say. Okay, I'm going to get right back to you in a minute, John. I just want to show you what's happening in the public schools today. And don't believe these mothers when they're crying about their kids. Oh, I can't believe they're teaching them all hell Satan. The mothers are lying when they're crying. They don't care. If they care, they stay home and raise their children. And what the kids are learning in the program, watch this.
But what are kids learning in this program?
When they hear us, it's initially shocking. Oh, the Satanic Temple, they automatically think evil and awful things. And again, we are not devil worshipers. We are non-theistic Satanists.
Right now, this program is for students here at Edgewood Elementary. Once a month, they'll get picked up and taken off campus for HAIL curriculum. That curriculum includes science, arts, and community service. So far, there are 4 students signed up from Edgewood Elementary.
As long as there's one child wanting to attend and one family wanting to send their child, that's all that we care about. We're not in this for the numbers.
Right now, there are 251 students across the entire Marysville district participating in LifeWise Academy's Religious Release Program. Their CEO tells us they aren't concerned about other groups offering religious release programs. He says LifeWise believes all families should have the opportunity to choose religious study during school hours and trust parents to make the best choices for their kids.
Amazing. Whatever happened to reading, writing, and arithmetic? Whatever happened to that? That's gone now. Everything but that, because the parents don't care and the teachers know it. And so they can do whatever they want. Last thing, I want to show you what the Hellion Academy of Independent Learning. I want to show you what their image look like. This is their image now. They look like a nice little kid, all bright-eyed, with horns and fire behind him. And they look like a goat. That's their new symbol. I don't know about new symbol, but that's a symbol. It's so kid-friendly. All hell Satan. In the public schools. Don't tell me the parents love their children. They're lying. 888-7753-773. I want to go quickly back to John. John was about to tell me who is John. John, who are you?
That's a very hard question for me to answer. I think I really don't really know. I think I'm just like... I know I can't say I am who I am because that's who God is. So I'll say I'm a spiritual being, like having a human experience.
What does that mean, a spiritual being?
Like I'm a spirit that's in a body.
How you know that? What does it mean?
It means that I really don't know what to tell you, like who really I am. I found myself in a body as a person.
And why you say you a spiritual being in a body? Why you call yourself that?
No, the reason why I say I'm a spiritual being because I know that I'm not my body.
But how do you know you're a spiritual being then?
Well, I don't know, to tell you the truth.
So why did you say that?
I just, my mind told me, my thoughts told me, tell me not to say that. That's what, I don't know who I am, to tell you the truth. I think I'm just... Why
not just accept that rather than coming up with all these ideas of who you are? You don't even know who you are. Oh, I'm a spiritual being. I'm the observer. I'm the this. Why come up with ideas rather than just admit you don't know who you are?
Yeah, that's the right answer. I just don't know.
No, that was a question.
Why? Because I listen to what my thoughts tell me. But
and why do you do that?
Because I'm not being aware. I let my awareness fail by not knowing that that's not me. That's just my mind telling me.
And why do you forget to remember?
Why do I forget? Because I get caught up with things sometimes. I get involved.
Why?
I forget who I really am. I just don't know who I am. Sometimes I think I'm this, I'm that. I go to work. I'm a worker, but that's not really who I am.
Right.
So I'm just gonna leave that. I'll just say I'm nothing.
And so why even say that? Because you don't even know that for sure.
I don't know. Yes. So I just say I don't know.
Right.
I don't.
Why is it so hard to just say I don't know?
Yeah.
That was a question.
It's the pride, the ego. Wants to think that I'm something that I'm not.
And so, where will you live from within to see that you don't know?
Where would I live from within?
When will you start living from within?
Now, right now.
All right.
Right now.
Nice.
Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
And just watch those thoughts, and you're going to see who you're not. And once you see clearly who you're not, you will know who you are.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thanks, bye.
All right. Amazing. Let me go to Will. Thy will be done. A first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia, oh, my. Will, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Reverend. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome, and you can call me Jesse.
We're about the same age. So some guy said you're an old wise man. I looked up your age. You're not all that old from my perspective.
Older than dirt.
My 102-year-old grandmother used to say she's as old as her tongue and a little bit older than her teeth.
That's right. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 102 is not a bad run.
That's for sure.
Right.
But go ahead.
Well, the fellow that prompted my call was talking about the divided church. And what he didn't understand, and what a lot of people don't know, is Ezekiel 38:11, that we're under attack by Gog, G-O-G, and who they are. In God's eyes, we're either repentant or we're unrepentant, period. One or the other. That's the deal. And it turns out that, and I got a dispute with you, because as we all know, and it's undeniable, that the deity, God Almighty, the creator of existence, is the father of us all, from the miracle of creation, by our biological life. And as it turns out, Jesus actually is God. There is no private interpretation of prophecy. And he is the King of America. He's the light of the root of Jesse, that we black and white Gentiles, the regathered, cast-off remnant of the house of Israel, with the DNA blood to prove it, followed to the shelter in the Promised Land, attacked by Gog, a land of unwalled villages. But Ezekiel 39 is coming right up. So that's when it's going to settle out, because we are what's called Zion fulfilled, or Israel regathered, Israel restored. That's exclusively only the United States of America, because we are to see God in each other, who is invisible. So I mention that to you because I see that you have images of apparently Jesus Christ on your very wonderful website that you
I have
are
one
so blessed by.
I have one.
What now?
I have one here too. Hold on. An image of Jesus.
All right, but
Basically, all I've done is keep my promise.
That's an image of Jesus too.
Well, Gog is demon possessed. They are sodomized as cult toddlers.
Let me ask you this because of time. Because of time. You said a lot, and I'm trying to remember some of the things you said. You said that we are all children of God.
I said God is the father of us all.
And why do you say that?
Well, there's clearly only one God, provably. There was no room for a committee at the beginning of creation when a point, a trillionth the diameter of a proton, became existence in 10 to the minus 36
I
seconds.
don't understand all that language, but let me ask. When Christ said you're of your father, the devil, was he talking about God?
No. The demiurge of evil.
If you're of your father, the devil, how can God be your father when Satan is your father?
Well, the fallen man. That's the unrepentant. We came to America as repentant Christians, black of Sheba and white.
How can God be your father if Satan is your father?
Because God is the perfect, holy, invisible deity, creator of all.
But how can
creation.
God be your father when Christ said that Satan is your father?
All right, he was the perfect, humble, incarnate
I didn't ask
deity.
you about Christ. I'm asking, Christ said to those who were of their father, the devil, Christ said that Satan is your father. You say that God is the father to all, but
and that's why he said, "Don't sodomize your children."
Christ
That's why he said
that's not true. And I want to ask you this: you said that Christ is God.
Yes, he is.
And where does Christ say that he's God?
I don't believe he does say it.
And why do you say it then if he didn't say it?
Because I got the remove of 2,000 years looking at history and prophecy, and I understand that he was the incarnate deity, long awaited, the Hebrew Messiah.
But why do you say Christ is God when Christ didn't say that he was God? He said his father was God, but he didn't say he was. Why do you say
the Father and the Son are one?
Why do you say it when Christ didn't say that himself?
Because I'm almost as old as you are.
So you're just making that up?
No, I ain't making it up.
Are you a Christian?
I'm a repentant Christian. I'm a true Christian. I'm a true American.
Are you a Christian?
I know that Jesus is God.
Are you a Christian?
Absolutely. There's only one God.
And do you have perfect peace?
Only God is perfect. I'm working at it.
Do you have perfect peace?
In Jesus Christ, I do, yeah.
Do you have perfect peace?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have perfect peace?
Only because I know God never lies, and he said Gog
Do you have perfect peace?
Or dead. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You said you didn't. You said you only human.
No, I said I was working at it. I was certain work is a miracle, from a blessing from God. It's not a curse of Adam.
How are you working at perfect peace? What do you mean by it? What kind of work are you doing?
I just got Trump elected.
All right.
I'm
Will,
waiting on God's time. I'm waiting
right.
on God's time.
Right on. Thank you, Will. I appreciate it. Got to run because of time. Thank you. Let me go to Colin out of Canada. Colin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well.
Great. Can you hear me all right? There was some issues earlier.
Go ahead.
Great. Well, I wanted to answer the biblical question, but
have you
before that,
discovered the traitor in you?
Short answer is yes. But mainly it's because I discovered the silent prayer. So, like, I just wanted to say, like, the silent prayer, it's the only thing that's ever worked for me, like, my whole life. And I'm kicking myself that I didn't discover it sooner. I usually go into these thoughts where I'm like, oh, everything happens for a reason. I found, Jesse for a reason at this point in my life, and so on and so forth. But the silent, I can't believe that this message has never been more widely spread, I guess you could say. But it's really made me see, like, even with just my friends and my family and just people around me, it's changed everything. I've noticed, like, how if someone talks too fast, or if someone talks too loud, or if they drive too fast, they're all full of anger. It's mind-blowing. It's like, life's been completely amazing for me, but I just see people around me in their hell. And here's the other thing is, like, I find myself running to the silent prayer sometimes. So I was going to ask you, I'm like, is it possible to do the silent prayer too much? Because, I'll do it before work, or I'll do it while sitting in the car, or something like that. I do it maybe for over an hour a day sometimes. But yeah.
Also, during the day, you should practice being present as well. When you're doing your work, and that is the silent prayer. Even when you about during your day, take a moment, become aware of your body, look around you, be aware of yourself moving through from one room to another one, and you are in prayer when you do that, instead of being lost in your head, thinking about the past or the future.
Yeah. Well, I know you have to wait till Sunday, but, like, this question is pretty poignant to me. Like, I think I'm overthinking. I think I'm being too intellectual about it, but it's like, have I been being a traitor to myself this whole time?
How have you discovered the traitor in you?
Excuse me, how have I discovered? Well, through the silent prayer.
Not how have you. It's have you discovered the traitor in you?
Yes, I do think I have.
And what is the traitor that's in you? Or who is it? What is it?
Well, I mean, I was going to say it's myself and my thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. I try not to identify with my thoughts. But the way the question is posed, it's kind of like, have I been kind of cheating myself or betraying myself just by being me? But then, I don't know. I don't want to overthink it too much. I try not to overthink questions like this too much. But I was just going to say yes.
Okay. And I know I can't. I know you want me to respond right now, but I gotta wait until Sunday. Okay. And but you stay with the silent prayer. You stay watchful, and everything will become clear to you. It really will.
Okay. Yeah, it's starting to. It really has. Jesse, like, I've called you once before. Thank you so much. That's all I can say. Thank you so much. My life, everything in my life, every little problem that I've ever had, like, it's just worked itself out. I don't stress about a single thing, And I'm, my wife, she's also, like, she also obeys me. She loves you too. We listen to you. I don't know. I can't say enough good things, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know the phones are busy and everything.
Well, stay with it. Stay with it, all right? I don't care what happens. If the whole world turned against you, you stay with it.
All right. Well, thank you, Jesse. I love you, man. I love you. All the guys at Bonds, you guys are great. Okay, I'll be donating this Christmas for sure.
Oh, thank you. We can use it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Paul, there's one line, 888-77, and we're going to get you a super chat soon. I have not forgotten. Paul is out of Indiana. Paul, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How are you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Paul.
I wanted to talk about the confusion over Jesus being God.
Okay.
I know a lot of people quote John 1 that in the beginning was the Word and the Word became flesh, but they don't ever seem to go on down that chapter to verse 18, where it says, no man has seen God at any time except for the Son of God.
Very interesting.
I found something very interesting the other day. I started reading one of the letters in the New Testament. I think it was Romans. Like, I started at the very beginning. And I realized that Paul always says that he greets them, every letter he writes to the different churches in the different cities. He says, I greet you in the name of God and his Son, Jesus Christ. So I started looking at the beginning of all of the letters, and every one of them does that. Whether
Amazing.
It's Paul, whether it's Luke, whether it's James, whether it's John, they all say, I greet you from God the Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father.
Yeah.
They all say that.
Yeah. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that one, and you're absolutely right.
And so people say they want to listen to what the apostles said and did, but they don't. They've made it up in their mind. And I think the confusion comes from the fact that God was in Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
And speaking.
Yeah.
And after Jesus was resurrected, God gave Jesus all the power, all the dominion.
Absolutely.
And so when we get to heaven, when we look up on the throne, we're going to see Jesus and God within him radiating outward. You know what I mean?
Amazing. I thought I saw Jesus. What do your other Christian friends say, Paul, when you tell them that Jesus is the Son and not the Father?
Oh, Jesse. I tell you, I first called you a few years ago and really had a whole new thing happen to me as far as being a Christian. That for 30 years, I never really saw that light. And so now when I talk to people at church, they could be 70, 80, 90 years old. They're full of fear. They have doubts. They don't understand. They have anger. And the only thing that they can do is quote back to you what they have heard all their lives told to them. They don't have anything in and of themselves.
And how do they react when you tell them that Jesus is the Son and not the Father? How do they react to you about that?
It's not good. They don't seem to.
They're like, what the?
Yeah, they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
And when you point out something like this, where if you go through each letter in the New Testament, at the very beginning of each letter where they're greeting the people,
yes,
and you show them that every one of the apostles said, there is God and there is his Son.
Yeah. Amazing.
And they don't.
They're not ready for them. This is why you got to leave them in their hell. They don't want to come out.
And I don't try to convince them.
That's right. Paul, I got to take a break, buddy. Thank you. Back in a moment. I totally disagree with the way
The treasure chest.
The treasure chest is now open on D Live. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black, Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it. And tonight at 7 p.m., well, at 4 p.m. today, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby on Fire Genius. At 4 p.m. today. You don't want to miss that. And at 7 p.m., the men's forum, the last men forum of the year for the Thursday night one. We still have Sunday morning. Isn't that amazing? So come on, guys. Come on down, guys, at 7 p.m. And brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. And we are going to get to your super chats, too. I see James coming in. I'm going to get to your super chats, but a brand new episode of the Fallen State TV. Amazing conversation with Bryce Mitchell. And Bryce is a top-ranked UFC fighter. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
And how did you overcome the fear of being hurt? You know, knocked out, teeth knocked out.
God commands us, do not be afraid.
Were you always a Christian?
No, sir. I called on Christ because I had a demonic experience.
Will you forgive your mother?
Yes.
Did you know you needed to forgive her?
Yes. How did you know that?
Isn't that amazing? And so you told me I can put my money on you this December?
You can bet the farm on me, brother. Well, save a couple cows.
That's Friday at 12 noon. And you can donate to the Fallen State to help support us. TheFallenState.tv and or locals.com in the description. James, you gonna vote? You gonna bet on Bryce this Saturday night?
No, I'm a Christian.
Oh God! Oh Lord!
Whatever. What do you mean? Oh God!
Oh Lord! Let me go to Kendra, a first-time call out of California. Kendra, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hey, Kendra. Is it Kendra or Kendra?
Kendra.
And they have Kendra, welcome to the show. You're on the air. They had your name spelled wrong and everything up here for me. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how to go through the ego death without with being okay. And I'm wondering how to not show it to the world or my family.
Why are you concerned about, what is causing you to be concerned about that right now?
Because I'm just trying to get through it.
Are you going through that now?
Lashing out, yeah.
And how do you know that you're going through the ego death now?
I've been going through it for a while, and I hadn't realized it. I've been down and out, wondering why I'm down and out, and doing the silent prayer every morning and every night, and even making time to do it throughout the day. And this thing, whatever you want to call it, a demon, an evil spirit, it wants to fight with my husband. It wants to tear my kids apart. It wants me to kill myself. And I've tried sitting and letting it go, and it does pass, but it's still, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
And so your question for me is what?
How do I keep it together without showing that I'm going through it and allowing the hell to come out on my kids or on my husband?
How do you let it come out on your kids? By doing what?
By lashing out on them.
Oh, okay.
Like verbally.
And why are you crying right now?
Fear. I don't reach out for help. I don't allow people to see me like this, or I try not to.
Right.
Calling you is huge. So I'm trying to face the fear of just doing it.
And good, you should, absolutely. And who is crying?
This thing in my body.
And so you know that you're not crying, right?
Yeah, I do.
It's the spirit of evil crying in you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So here's how you go through it. You go through it just by seeing it and doing nothing about it. You live in it. You go to sleep in it. You wake up in it. You drive in it. You eat in it. You live in it. And it'll be taken away from you. Just don't call it you. And they'll be like, oh, Lord, why is this so hard? And all the tears, when you cry, you're lying because there is no you. And those are the spirit that's crying in you. It's all fake. So just relax and live with it. This is exactly what God is trying to save you from, that old nature, which is evil. It's not you at all. It's not you that's having the thoughts. It's not you that's feeling the pain. It's not you at all that's crying the tears. Just relax. And if you happen to go off, try not to, of course. Hey, kids, I'm wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm wrong. But don't make a big deal of it. And I promise you, you'll be fine. Just live with it.
Yeah.
You know how the women be talking about, oh, I got cancer. Oh, I got the cancer. And then they go out and start a movement with cancer. Instead of just living with it and overcome it, they reach out for help by starting a cancer. I survived cancer. Dumb. Because they just want somebody to feel sorry for them. They want to be a victim. They want the thrill of having cancer and let the world know they got it. They for the thrill. So just live with it. Don't call it you. And I promise you, you'll be fine. You'll be. One day it just won't be there anymore. It'll be gone. The light of God will have saved you from that. I present you, brothers. I ask you, brothers, to present your bodies. Beseech you, brothers and sisters, to present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Meaning, bring all that stuff to Him, relax in it, go through the valley of the shadow of death, and you'll be fine. Really, have no fear.
Yeah, I've done this before, and I went through it, and I could tell, I could see this thing in my dreams. It was like it was being exposed, and it could no longer hide from me.
Beautiful.
And but now, the next level boss came, so to speak, and I'm just wondering, does it get worse next time?
I totally understand the question. One that you should not ask, but since you asked, don't worry about that. The one thing I can tell you that because the light is shining on the darkness, and yes, you can now see by the light, you're seeing the darkness, right? The darkness, which is evil, in the imagination and emotions, they're gonna they're gonna scream at you, they're gonna yell at you, they're gonna tell you it's not working, they're gonna tell you, oh, this is too hard, this is taking too long, this is not the way to be, this is a waste of time. And the reason that they're telling you all that is because they want you to think it's you, and they don't want to die. But Christ said, if you want a life, you're going to have to give up a life. And this is the life that you're giving up. The ego life, the false life, the not you life. It's all evil spirits. And if you just relax, and they're going to scream, and they're going to have a fit because they can't handle the light, one day they'll be gone. You won't even know when, why, or how, but you know you're free. But so just hang in there with it, live with it, and when the devil say, how long is this going to take? Just know that's not you saying that, and you'll be fine. That's those spirits screaming in your imagination, how long, because they don't want to leave your body. They want to be with you. And because they live in human beings, that's why human beings are so evil. Their nature, their hearts are wicked because they have this wrong nature. They have the spirit of evil. But they're going to have to leave you. Stay with it.
Yeah, there's just no option of giving up.
Right. Absolutely. Have a made-up mind. I'm going all the way through this, no matter what. I'm going to the end. If it takes a lifetime, I'm not going back. I'm not going to look to the left or the right. If I lose everybody and everything, I'm still going to the end. I'm enduring to the end. And you will get the prize, I promise.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And call me again. I love the fact that in the fear you called anyway. That's how you do it. And so even in the fear, the shadow of death, because that's what you're going through, you stay with it anyway. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Because it is dying, not you. You're receiving life. It is dying. You're going to have real life now instead of the fake life.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
I wish you well. Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing. 888-77-JESSE. Super chat. Super.
Someone bought our coffee. Quote, "Who is this that obscures my plans without words, or with words without knowledge?" Job 38:1. That was deep.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you.
Sorry, I misread it at first.
Yeah, it really was deep.
Shout out to the top.
Amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to the top contributors on the D-Live crew. That includes Aries One, Cactus Eater Bear, Games for Rec, Jake Huston, and the rest of the supporters over there. And congrats to the luckiest treasure chest recipients: Misty, Dolphin Spirit 22, Greenwall 555555565, and Games for Rec. Thank you guys. And I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. DELON is the first time call out of New Jersey. DELON, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
All right, I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask, I hope it's not so left field. I wanted to ask you a question, right?
Yes.
So when I read in the Bible and I hear that, Judas betrayed Jesus, and then as a black person, we are the children of Judah, I wonder if that have any correlation with black people not being able to ever get along because of the betrayal of the money scheme and the different things. And then dealing with because I'm in the man business, right? I profit off of strong men. I wonder if there's a way that we take all of the fantasy and all of the stuff out of situations and implant into the man Proverbs, Psalms, and Ecclesiastics based on the way of praying, based off the way of knowledge and watching out what goes on in Ecclesiastes.
So let me do this because of time. Just make your two questions simple.
Okay, the simplest question is there a correlation with Judah and Judas when it comes to black people and connecting and getting together?
No. Black people are evil, and they're evil because they have not forgiven their mothers and father, but they're evil because they have the nature of their mothers, which is the nature of their God, Satan. And blacks refuse to take a look at themselves, at their own hearts, so they can forgive and drop the anger. That's the only reason they're still having the issues that they're having. They're unwilling to admit that they're evil. It has nothing to do with Judas and Judah mama or none of those people.
So it's not like no correlation because, I don't know.
No, not at all. They just have an unforgiving heart. Their hearts are wicked.
The hearts are wicked. So now how do we install this Bible practice to our men so we can really get us to a higher nature? Because if
you're not going to ever get them, you're not going to get them to a high nature by reading the Bible or installing anything. They're going to only overcome their fallen nature when they forgive. Nothing else is going to work but that. They cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven until they drop the anger.
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. Aber is a first-time caller I used to have a cousin named Albert. I grew up with him. And May Pearl was his mama.
Wow. Jesse Lee Peterson, as I live and breathe. I can't believe I'm speaking with you, sir.
Amazing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm a Bible thumper.
Why?
Well, I don't have a lot of. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I like to spend it wisely.
Amazing.
But I do agree with 99% of everything you say. I just want to call you on one thing.
Okay.
When Jesus said, "Yeah, you shall do greater works than me," he was speaking directly to the 12 disciples, and they were about to receive supernatural powers from the Holy Spirit, and they would perform greater miracles than he. They raised the dead, they healed the sick, and all that. So I just want to clear that up.
And are you saying that only the disciples are able to do greater works than Christ did?
Yes. No one has done that ever since.
Really? Do you know? Are you a Christian?
No one has ever been given them powers.
Are you a Christian?
Yes.
And you don't believe you can do greater works as Christ did?
Not unless I get supernatural powers and I'm called upon to do something like that. But no, it's not going to happen again.
So you actually believe that when Christ said that, he was only talking to the disciples?
Yes. They went and did. They raised the dead. No one else has ever done greater works than Christ. Only the disciples. When he said that, it's the only time it's ever happened.
But when Christ was saying that, he was saying that anyone that he was telling the disciples and all people that the same state that he's in, you can be in that too. And then when you're in that state, the greater works you can do. But if you're not in the same state that he's in, you won't be able to do it. But all of us can be in that same state if we want it. It's just that most people are not, they're not going to ever, then first of all, they're not going to admit that they're evil at heart. And secondly, they're not going to let go of that old nature. And so they will never be right. And by not being right, there's no way to do greater works because you got to be it. You got to be more about being it than doing it. Because when you be it, then the doing come easy because that's who you are.
Well, I agree with that from a spiritual sense, yeah.
Well, he was only speaking to us. He was only speaking to the. He was only speaking to the people in spirit. He was talking about the spirit. He was not talking about the physical.
Well, at that point, I think he was trying to get the disciples to tell them what was coming because it was really wild, you know.
Do you have perfect peace?
Wild times coming.
Do you have perfect peace?
Yes. I've seen perfect peace in my family. They were all old school Presbyterians.
Oh, so do you have perfect peace?
30 of them in a room, Jesse. You could put 30 of them in a room and you would still hear a pin drop. Did nobody ever acted out?
Right on.
I went to family reunions. I was the only one that had a beer.
Let me ask you this because of time. Which is greater, the spirit or the physical?
The spirit.
And so if you know that for sure, why don't you know that you could be in the same state that Christ was in and do greater works?
Because we can't raise the dead.
But we
can't make the sick walk.
He said you could if you had if you're in the same nature that he had and has. He said you could. Was he lying?
No, he was telling that to the disciples.
No, he was talking to everyone.
You will do greater works than I do. In other words, you will raise the dead. You will make the lame walk.
I know, but he was saying that to anyone. He was saying that to anyone who will return to the Father. He just happened to be speaking in front of a group of people right there.
I disagree.
Oh, okay. I understand that you disagree. Amazing.
But I love you. I love you, and I love your show.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the good work.
I will. Albert, call me again, all right?
I will. Thank you. God bless.
You too, buddy. Amazing. Why do favor? That doesn't make sense. Why do favor Donald Trump? That's not written right. And he had the girl, it was a woman who called him a man. What? Okay. What's her name? Andrea? Ardena. Real fast, you want to know why I favorite Donald Trump?
First off, my name's Ardene.
Oh, okay.
Second off, yeah.
They got even that wrong. Go ahead.
Why do you favor him when he was so disrespectful to his previous wives and his wife right now?
But he wasn't, and
yeah, it was.
And that was his business anyway. I just want him to work for me.
No.
I don't need him to be. I don't need him to be a saint. I just need him to work for me.
But he's disrespectful to his wife, and that's
no, he's not. His wife don't mind. His wife doesn't mind.
Huh?
His wife love him.
So why did his first wife divorce him?
Because that's what wives do. You know how evil women are.
You're full of it. You are so full of it. People pay you to do this too, and it's crazy.
Can you call me back, and I will take your call tomorrow as soon as you call in?
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you call me tomorrow. I'm running out of time. The clock.
Yeah. Right. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Make sure you call me tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Bye.
Will you call me tomorrow?
We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Don't be afraid.
My husband says yes. He wants me to call you tomorrow.
Right
so,
on.
I'll go for it.
Obey
Okay,
your husband. Call me tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, bye. I'm out of time. The hate report. Thank you all. Super chats and everything. I'm out of time. We'll finish the super chat tomorrow. Colin out of Tennessee. Derek, a first-time call out of Sweet Home, Alabama. Rick out of Virginia. And the caller just dropped. I'm out of time. The hate report coming up. And then Joy on Friday TV. And then the American Anchor Baby. And then bye. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. I read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you could go to JLPtalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingtheman.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell.